first time ever that we're wearing headphones in the studio. So when the intro music hit, I was like, oh shit, I felt that first hit, beat, snare, drum, shit right in my chest. I was like, oh my gosh. If I wasn't awake before, I am now.
So hello. Hi.
Welcome back to the shit show. Two girls.
No fucks.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I don't know why I didn't say it at the same time. Two girls.
No fucks.
There we go. I'm Katrina.
I'm Ashley Marie.
And this week, I giggle because we are going to talk about, I'm officially at this point 6 months post-wedding.
Woo.
Marriage life is pretty similar to engaged life. We already had a pretty solid foundation, but I want to talk about things that lead up to the wedding and what happens the day of the wedding from my own experience. Now that I'm like 6 months removed from it, I've digested it, I've worked on some shit through therapy. Like, all is well with the world. But also, as a guest,
I want to sprinkle in some wedding etiquette because y'all be acting crazy and there's no need for it. Okay?
Also that. So the first thing on my list, elope if you can. Elope. Because weddings as a whole are trash. Like the planning of it, the money that is spent on it, having to deal with parents who want and envision their babies in this space in their brain, and it doesn't click with what your vision is for your day that you're doing. So it's a lot. And initially, like, my wife and I were all about eloping. What we wanted to do was go to the courthouse, $50, say I do, throw a party and a quote unquote engagement party and surprise everybody like, hey, we're married. That's what we wanted to do.
Okay.
Her family said absolutely not. So they were
Okay.
like, we're not doing. They're also Italian. So Italians are very like,
This is the way.
This is the way. Okay. Like, if you're,
They don't fuck around about weddings and
Not
about
at all.
fucking meatballs. Okay. That's it.
and
Like,
they're what is it? It's not sauce. It's
gravy.
They're gravy. I
don't
get
call
it.
it sauce.
It's fucking sauce, but whatever.
I know.
Whatever, it's fine. But anyways, so if you can elope. I have some people out there that might be listening that I know are getting married this year. We're now in wedding season now. So I have some tips and tricks on what to do.
You listening, Scuba Steve?
I can't with you. But yeah, so if you can elope, do that. Set boundaries with your family.
With everybody. With your family, with your guests, everybody.
As early as possible. Family, the most important, because they're the ones that are going to be involved the most. Set that boundary of, what is your expectation of this? What do you want to see from this? Here's what I want. Where can we meet in the middle? That should have happened. It really didn't, but our vision and their vision kind of meshed together pretty well. So there wasn't a lot of friction with that. So I was lucky in that sense. What I wasn't lucky with was the amount of people on her side that came to our wedding. We had almost 200 people at this thing. I wanted to vomit. And as someone who doesn't like being around a lot of people for an extended period of time, that was like sensory overload for me.
I believe
so I, you're thinking about your vows and, what your emotions are going to go through when you see your spouse walking down to you and, like all the getting ready and making sure your bridesmaids have their shit together and everybody's got their shoes on and all of this shit. And no one tells you how fast well, they do tell you, but you don't realize how fast this day goes by until it's already over. So, oh my God, you're really doing this right now. I can't see it.
Don't pay attention to the woman behind the glass.
It's fine, whatever. Are you trying to? Okay, all right. So, anyways, so if you're a guest, because you being a guest in this, so what are some of your tips and tricks as a guest when you're coming to it? You get the invite. What's the first thing you do?
You make it so if you are available, set up childcare, set up time off from work, whatever you need to do that far in advance when you get to save the date.
Yes.
Because it's not fair to RSVP to someone's wedding and then not show up.
Yeah, because that happened with us.
Unless it's life, limb, or eyesight. Okay? That's it.
Which 2 of those are not covered by insurance.
Exactly. So.
But yeah, so.
Plan in advance. That's like the first thing I can tell you to do.
Yeah.
Second thing is show up on time. The bride, groom, whoever, fucking someone's fucking grandma shouldn't have to tell you to be on time or be early.
Be early. Because if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late.
If they say that it's a no phone zone, respect that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's some people are just like, well, I just want to shut the fuck up. Not your wedding, Becky. Shut up.
Yeah, we had an unplugged ceremony, and it was probably one of the better decisions we made for ourselves in that moment. Because it was
a better decision for me too, because I stand at 5'2" and I could see everything because people's arms weren't up, taking pictures and shit.
Also that, and what I didn't want was someone's cell phone in my photos. You know what I mean? So it just, if people have that, just respect that. Also, if you're going to a wedding, don't wear white. Ever.
I don't care if it has pattern on it. I don't care.
Don't have white.
Don't have white. Don't have cream. Don't wear beige.
Anything
Take it all out of your wardrobe.
There are so many colors in the spectrum. White does not have to be one of them that you wear. Thankfully, at our wedding, we did not have that problem.
Oh, because I would have fucking dumped coffee all over whoever it was. Don't even care.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
You know, there's a job. That is a job. Like, I think you can find it on like Craigslist or something. That you pay someone to go to your wedding and just fuck other people's outfits up because they wore white.
I mean, it sounds like
sounds like my part-time job for the summer.
It sounds like it sucks to suck. Yep. That's what that sounds like. Here's the thing. And in getting married, it is important to communicate with your spouse, soon to be spouse. If you haven't already had these conversations of what your future with them could look like, what are your goals? I remember, so my wife and I, before we got married, we went to North Conway for the weekend just to take a break from all things wedding because it will consume you and all your free time.
Knew that because I had dinner with your wife before you guys went. And she's like, yeah, this is like the staycation. Like, we're going to stay, we're going to clear our minds, we're going to like get ourselves better. And I thought it was a great idea. I hadn't heard of anyone else doing it before.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's
needed
cool.
to do it before. I'm like, we're unplugging. We're not worried about anybody else. We're not making decisions. It's just the 2 of us. So in this space, we went to the hotel and we sat at the bar. And at the bar, we were both like, so what do you see for our first marriage? Or first year of marriage? What does that look like to you? How do you want to be? How do you see me as a parent? How do you see yourself as a parent? What do you want our goals to be for like the first couple of years? We don't have to look at 5 because COVID taught us you got to take it day by day.
Of course.
But what you got to do for the first year, what is it you want to learn? What is it you want to do? And what is it that you need from me to aid in your growth? Done. Set the standard, kept it pushing. So we get to the wedding day and I am calmer than I thought I would be, which made me anxious. So fucking stupid.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at you, but I'm like,
it makes sense. Like,
this woman prides herself on being cool, calm, and collected. Like,
all the time.
So she's calm and she's freaking out about being calm.
This is where I live. It's fine. So everybody gets to the room. And by everybody, I mean my bridal party. And here's the thing, like, shout out to my sister and my best friend, who was my maid of honor. Or, sorry, matron of honor. Because that's the difference. Matrons are married, maids are not. And, yeah, I didn't know that either. And
my brain just immediately...
I saw that. You were like, what? Yeah,
what?
It's a thing. I didn't know that. So it's fine. And this is the first time I'm doing this shit. I don't fucking... This is my first rodeo. So I have no idea what I'm doing.
Write it down, people.
It's fine. So...
There will be no other rodeos.
There's no other rodeos. So everybody gets to the room. We're all chill. We order breakfast. We have music playing. Everybody's getting their makeup done. People are getting dressed. Like, we're having a good time. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute. It's almost noon and I haven't had my makeup done yet. And we have to be out by 2:30. So I'm like freaking out. Mm-hmm. And there's still 3 more of my bridesmaids who have not had their face done yet. And I'm like, makeup artist, we gotta kick it into gear. And there was some miscommunication between the two of us, which is also something like, communicate with your vendors when it comes to timing. Because he thought we were supposed to be done at 4. And I was like, no. The sun sets after that. We need to be done before that so we can get these pictures outside. So we got all the things done. I'm waiting outside. First look was great. It was awesome. We get to the venue. There were some issues with placements of decor. Mm-hmm. And we had to set some people straight, like, this is not the focus. This is a beautiful space that we're in. Mm-hmm. Be in the moment. That's it. So we get to the point where now it's time to walk down the aisle. Shit hits. It's like, oh my God, this is actually happening. So I'm trying to, like, stay in the moment, be in the moment. Everybody's walking out. Nana's walking out. Parents are walking out. All the things. Mm-hmm. It comes to me, and our officiant asks everybody to stand up. Our DJ heard, oh, let me lower the music. No, you can turn that back up now. And he switched it to my wife's song of what she wanted to walk down the aisle to, which is a Taylor Swift song. I was like, oh no, we're not doing that. I was like, let's put the other song back on. Just put it back on. And so our coordinator was like running back there to try to get all the things, whatever. So I start walking down with my dad. My stepdad then comes up, and now the 3 of us are walking down. Then it's all of her bridal party, and then she walks out, and I can see that she's holding, like, she's choking back tears. And I was like, bitch, don't cry. Like, our makeup looks so good, and we paid so much for this shit. Don't cry. So we get there, and not for nothing, but my wife told me that she wrote her vows the night before. Me being who I am, I started this shit back in, like, August. I was like, I had a fucking outline, what points I wanted to make, all the things. She wrote it the night before, fucking slayed it, because of course that's what she does. So it's my turn to go, and I fumbled a couple of times because I was like, but she's also, because Italian, she's loud and knows how to project from her diaphragm. I do not. So there were some quote unquote complaints about me not being loud enough, like people couldn't hear my vows. And I was like, you know who needed to hear my vows?
Not
my
you.
wife.
Not you.
So don't worry about it. Just enjoy. Just look at the decor. Look at the space that we're in. Shut up and enjoy the moment. So now we're done. Party gets started. We get introed. We dance. Me not realizing that in the middle of the dance, my wife's dress broke. So I'm trying to spin her, and she's like, no. My dress is broken. And I didn't know. And I could see her getting frustrated. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. You should have just been like, my dress broke. And I'm like, oh, and we could have just continued on. Whatever. Mm-hmm. So my next thing of what I want to say when it comes to all things wedding, when it comes to the speeches, because the look on your face. Okay. Ashley Marie was there, so she knows. My advice would be to practice in front of a mirror, practice in front of people. For my vows, for me specifically, I practiced in front of my cousin. My cousin started crying, so that's how I knew I did a good job. I was like, all right, I hit all the points I needed to, and she was like, and you did it in good time. Like, I'm so proud of you, Trina. Like, all the things. There is what a lot of people don't know is that as a guest, you don't realize that there is a timeline that you don't see. You have to be...
Except if you're a guest who works in the food and beverage industry, then you know there's a timeline, and you're like, motherfuckers, you're going off schedule.
You're a unicorn. So, but for those that don't, there is a schedule. You have to do X, Y, and Z. So there are speeches that need to be made. There are toasts. There are dances. There's cake cutting. There's all of these things that happen before the dance floor opens that have to happen at a certain time in order to enjoy the fullness of being in this space that costs a lot of money. So in doing that, the ground rules were laid out as to how long everybody could talk. There was an instance at my wedding, for those that were there, know that did not go as planned. And it was tough. I'm just going to keep it a buck. It was tough. It was just tough. And my thing is, like, if you had all these wonderful things to say, then say them first before you go off on a tangent. Because the tangent happened first before you talked about us. And that was really hard to swallow. And there was also an instance, I'm not going to get into it, but there was something that was said that made me uncomfortable. And that's where pretty much my wall went up. And everybody in the fucking room, all 200 of you motherfuckers saw my wall go up, like, immediately.
It's going to be weird to say, I saw it and felt it. Okay?
It's tough. Like, and here's the thing. Of all the things that could and do go wrong at weddings, this was the only hiccup in the entire thing.
Yes.
So, overall, fucking fantastic day. The sun was out for the first time in weeks, because every weekend, but prior to, like, 6 weeks in a row, it rained every single Saturday. The sun was out for our wedding. Our dresses fit.
And they looked beautiful.
Like, we were comfortable in our shit. We were just happy to see each other. We were happy to be in this moment. We were happy to party. The food was great. The drinks were fucking fantastic. Like, everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say that logistically. Like, they looked good. They were happy, but everything else flowed, like, from a person in this industry.
Yeah.
The bartenders were on top of it. All of their wait staff was on top of it. Like, their coordinator was on top of it. The DJ was taking people's requests, even though he doesn't need to.
Yeah, he didn't have to, because here's the thing. On the invite, yes, I asked y'all what you would like to hear. That doesn't mean you're gonna hear it, but I gave the list to the DJ to be like, if there's time after the songs we want to hear, sprinkle some shit in there. There you go. And he did, and it was just great. It was so fantastic. So my only thing is, when it comes to, if you are one, and I've been the maid of honor and I've given the speech, I made sure my speech was under 2 minutes, because I understood the assignment. I understood the room I was in, the people I was going to be talking to, everything in between, and made sure to not consume so much alcohol that I would be so far gone that my speech would have been absolute trash and ended up on YouTube somewhere. We made sure that didn't happen. I would suggest running this by someone, maybe not necessarily the bride, because you kind of want it to be a surprise for them, but run it past someone else and say, hey, how does this sound? Is this okay? Like, because you could be confident in your shit, and then once you're in front of 200 people, the way that floor opens up and you fall through, it happens. But it was the only hiccup in the entire thing, and it's just, it was tough. It was really, it was tough to witness, tough to sit there and not do anything about it while waiting for something to happen that should have happened.
So at that point, we were friends, but we weren't at the level that we're at now.
Yeah.
But part of me was like, I need to stop this. I need to, like, and then people at my table were amping me up, like, sis, you want to stop it? Let's go.
You weren't the only one. Like, there were so many. And it actually got to a point, too, where I actually pushed my chair back to get ready to get up to take the mic away. And that's when they said, oh, lift up your glasses and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, girl.
But I was like, I don't know, like, so we're all like strategizing, like, how do we fix this?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about it from a standpoint of you guys, but also like this woman is embarrassing herself right now.
Yeah.
And like,
it was pretty bad.
How are you going to recover from this? Like, I don't even have any loyalty to you, but I would not like this to happen any longer.
Right. You. Yeah. Also that. So just run that by somebody. Make sure that, and for those who do speeches or don't, hit a timer. Read your shit and then look at the timer and see how long you went. And know that your brides or your bridal party is going to tell you how long you have.
Yep.
So you know, like, what you can say, what you can't, and just get short and sweet.
Read it naturally. Yeah. Time it with dramatic pauses or with laughter or with whatever you include, you know?
Exactly.
As a 27 dresses representative, I guess you would call.
That was me prior to.
So,
yes.
You know, I've been around this block a couple times. Yeah. I haven't necessarily been the maid of honor, or one time I just fell into the position of sort of maid of honor.
Okay.
Very strange.
Yeah.
But, you know, traditionally in my cultures, both of them, is like weddings, a bunch of people talk. Anybody talks that wants to. Like, if it's your sister, if it's your dad, if it's everybody talks.
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared and make it short, make it sweet. And if you feel like you have nothing to say, then don't say anything.
Also that. Or you can just pull the bride, groom to the side and be like, hey, I just want to say, like, and fill in the blank. Whatever that blank is.
Yeah.
But yeah. So moving on from that.
As a guest, dress appropriately. Like, we already said don't wear white, but like, if I'm telling you that this is black tie or this is formal attire,
it's like, formal attire and black tie.
Check with me on what you deem formal attire, because if your titties are out, bro, like, we're gonna have a problem. My grandma's here. Stop that nonsense. Like,
and Nana will side eye you.
Yeah, I mean,
she's side eyeing everybody, no matter what they wearing, but it'll be extra hot when the titties are out. That's funny. I mean, you can wear them out.
Yeah.
Classy.
Yes.
There were several women at the wedding who, their titties look so great. I was so proud of them. I was like, oh my God, this looks so great.
And yeah, meanwhile here, I bought several outfits so my titties would be completely covered. I was like, no. We're not going to have any escapades today.
But yeah. So, in moving on. So, in other things when it comes to all things wedding, when it comes to curating your guest list, don't feel like you have to invite somebody just because you went to their wedding.
Yep.
That happened with me with several people. Like, I was a guest at their wedding or I was in their wedding, but they were not invited to mine. Our friendship is different now.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Or in some cases, non-existent.
Yeah.
So there's no need or obligation on my end to have to invite you to this event just because I was at yours. Like, it's not really how this works, and that's fine. Like, and sometimes in some cases, like, when I was younger and some of my friends got married, I wasn't invited to their wedding, but our friendship wasn't where it was at that time.
Yeah.
Now it's at a place where I hang out with these homies. I converse with them often. And I'm like, you know what? Bitch, you can come to my wedding. And they're like, wait a minute. What? Oh my
this
God.
Is crazy.
This is great. Oh my God. This is so great. I'm like, because we're not the same people we were 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Like, things are different now. And I want you to be a part of this. You've been a part of this. I want you to be a part of this. But I knew how to say no to people on my side of the family. It's hard when you're Italian to say no to your family on the Italian side. And I empathize with my wife in that sense because, like, for her to be like, why is this person, I haven't seen them since I was in high school. Why are they being invited to our wedding? Like, it makes no sense. And sometimes depends on who's writing the check gets to say who does what, which is another reason why I'm like, just fucking elope so you don't even have to deal with that. But for me, when it came to looking at this guest list and really figuring out like who I really wanted to be there, I was very strategic in that, and understanding that just because my family's big don't mean all these bitches gotta be there. So there's an example of a particular family member. I'm not gonna call out who it is, but this family member, because of who I am and who I married, there was an issue with that. So I was ghosted by this family member for the engagement party. So I already knew.
Yeah.
And like, this was someone I like considered, like, they were my favorite, like for top tier relative for a long time. And it was at that point I was like, all right, your silence speaks louder than any words you could ever say. So you're not getting an invite. Yeah. Like, I already knew at that moment when I asked you for like your information so I could send you the invite for the engagement party, and you were like, cricket, you weren't coming. And then a conversation came up well after about why that decision was made, and then threw the Bible at my face. And I was like, so here's what we're not doing. I'm not doing this with you. Like, our relationship was what it was, and I appreciate it for what it was. But moving forward, if you're not conducive, if you're not adding to my life or contributing to my growth, we don't need to speak anymore. And what I'm not going to have is you constantly judging me. Yeah. On the side, or trying to, will the word of the Lord at me. Like, we're not doing that. So snip, snip. Nice knowing you. Bye-bye. And like, it's weird having to mourn someone who's still alive. Because it's like, I literally revered this person as one of my favorite people. Because my family's fucking huge. So many of them are fucking crazy. And it's like, pickings are kind of slim. And now it's like, oh, okay, that's one less. Exactly what that's like, oh, it was just so. And of all the, there were family members I expected that from. This was the person I did not expect that from. And even those I expected it from, I got the most support from them. So I was literally living in fucking Wonderland. Yeah. Like, everybody's mad here. What are you talking about? So it was just, it was a lot to process, to say the least. So be mindful when it comes to picking who you want to celebrate. And don't feel bad that you're not inviting someone that doesn't check in with you, doesn't ask how you're doing, doesn't offer to hang out or offer to help with anything. Like, don't feel like you have to invite them just because you share DNA with them. You don't need to do that. Fuck that shit. And that's also another plate that you have to pay for. Yep. That you don't even whatever. Anyways, so that's my take on guest list. And also, like, if you're, because I've been a guest at a shit ton of weddings, and just like be in the moment. Just be in the moment. Be happy for the couple, and just be present. Like, at my wedding, when we switched outfits and we got out of our dresses, I made a conscious decision to not drink because I wanted to remember the rest of the night. Like, I felt myself getting a little tippy, and I was like, you know what? This is good. I can ride this out for the rest of the night. I don't need any more. And it was probably the best decision I made that day. Just because, like, well, outside of marrying my wife, but like saying to myself, I'm not going to drink anymore because I don't need to. I'm going to be in this moment. I'm going to enjoy this moment. And I'm literally going to embrace everybody that's here. And it was fucking fantastic. Outside of waking up the next morning and not having knees. Because I was dancing like I was in my fucking 20s.
I know. Girl. Videos. I was right there.
Everybody got videos. Oh my God. That shit was, I was like, wait, Trina dropped it low. Girl. And Juvenile wasn't even on. Like, girl. That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. But yeah, so weddings are a lot. Yeah, don't forget to breathe through all of the things. And literally just like the best thing or the best advice I could give to any bride out there is just, if you want something, get it. If you want it, just get it. Don't think twice about it. You're only going to do this once. And everyone talks about like, oh my God, you spent all this money on this wedding. You could have put a down payment on a house. In what economy, sir? Not in this one. Even with what we paid for this wedding, that's not a down payment for no house in Massachusetts. Absolutely not. But when you think about it, you spend all this time preparing for a moment. It's not special to weddings. You got to wait 9 months before your baby gets here, kind of a thing. But also, like, if you're at work and you're working on a project, that project takes months before you make your 20-minute presentation. Beyonce spent 8 months to dance for 2 hours. 8 months. Actually, probably longer than that. But she prepared over a long period of time for a moment. This is the same thing. So if you want something, just get it. If that's what your vision is, even if it's not what your vision is, and you're like, I really want this at my wedding, fucking get it. Just get it, because you're only, hopefully, gonna do this once. And just leave it at that. I'm trying to think what else. What else? Did I write anything else down in my book? Oh, ask all the questions to your coordinators. They're there. They're the experts. They know the venue like the back of their hand, or at least they should. And if you have questions about anything, what to bring in, what not to bring in, read the contract. So many people don't do that.
Because they don't care.
They're like, oh, we're going to have candles and stuff. And it's like, oh, right on page 3, it says you can't have anything that's lit because no. And there are reasons why they have them there, because the facility almost burned down because someone was being careless with that. Yeah. Like, you can't mix flames and alcohol and reckless people together. Like, it just doesn't work. But yeah, so ask all the questions, enjoy the moment, just be in the moment, but also understand that even in this moment, it's not necessarily about this moment. It's the rest of your life, but also enjoy the space that you're in with your soon to be spouse. So I talked a lot. Okay. Shocking. Yeah. You got anything else? Any other like experiences as a guest at a wedding?
As a guest, you're invited to this celebration. Don't take it personally if the bride and bride, groom can't take photos with you, can't spend too much time with you.
Also that.
People take it super personally.
It's nothing personal.
And it's not.
It's not at all. And here's the thing. If you want to get a picture with the bride, go to her.
Yeah.
Go to her and get one. That's it. Get your phone out. Everybody got his fucking cell phone. Get your phone out. Like, hey,
let's take a snack because she probably didn't eat a lot. So, like, give her something.
Here's the thing. I made sure to eat with my shit. I was like, what I'm not doing is not eating. Like, and we paid too much for these motherfucking place to not. I consumed all that fucking chicken, all them veggies, all that shit. Because I was like, what I'm not doing is gonna wake up hungover and hungry. Those are horrible combinations to wake up to. But yeah, so anyways, I think that's all I have.
Be supportive. Even though you're a guest, be supportive.
Yeah. And whatever that looks like.
Whatever they need.
Yeah. That's that on that. Well, if you made it to the end of this episode,
thanks.
Congrats to you. Follow us on all the social mediums.
Do it.
Please and thanks. All the cool kids are doing it, so you should do it too. Thanks to the Bridge Sound and Stage.
And Mertz.
Woo, woo. Killing it on the other side of the soundproof glass, dealing with all of our bullshit. And affirming us. When we talk shit, he's like, yep. Like, I see the head nods, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm not crazy. This is great. So, yeah. And when this episode comes out, yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Because we still have...
Do we?
Yeah, we do. We got a couple more episodes that we're going to be recording before we take the quote-unquote break.
Or whatever.
It's fine. Season 1 will be over soon. We'll be back with Season 2 once I'm all healed up and stitched up and all that shit.
Or we'll just give you guys, like, some stuff on our social media platform to hold you over.
Also that. Yes. So, all right, bitches. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.